Okay, here we're ready to test our circuit. Before you hook up the circuit, the last thing you're going to do is hook the battery up. You need to make sure that the selector switch is in the middle position or the 5-volt position, which means it's pulling power off the USB. Do not want this powered up when we hook the battery. What we're going to do is simply put the switch into the battery position for just a few seconds. I should immediately see my lights begin to blink. If I do not, I want to turn it off because I've got something hooked up wrong or defective, and we do not want that voltage to feed through the circuit and burn out something else. So you can usually get away with stuff that's just for a few seconds. So if you don't see any lights, turn it off and diagnose the problem. But if you do see the lights, you can let that go. So let's talk a little bit about this circuit. There is a YouTube video of an astable multi-vibrator that you can watch on my channel. It should be listed right below this one that explains it. I'm going to give it to you in the layman's terms. Basically, what this circuit does is we use the resistors as a choke point or a valve. Imagine this to be a bucket of water. The capacitors act as our bucket, and so we limit how fast our bucket fills up with the resistors. When the resistor on the opposite side fills up, it discharges, causing our transistor to fire, which causes one light to blink. It also discharges itself and begins filling up the other bucket. So as the circuit progresses, this bucket fills up, discharges, light blinks, this begins to fill up, light blinks. Now a capacitor acts just like a tiny little battery, but it can discharge all at once. And so these continually charge and discharge, firing each one of these transistor gates or base that opens and closes the transistors, which cuts off the voltage feed to the LEDs. Now, let's talk about how we wired this up. First of all, this will be step K in your book, Control Board Test. You will need 4 alligator clips. It said 2 red, 2 white. Get 2, I did black and red. So first of all, you need to realize that there is a polarity on these LEDs. You should have a couple of extra in your kit. The long side is the positive side. Okay, so the long side of this LED is going to be the positive side, if we can see that. One side is longer. I'm going to pull these apart slightly so I don't touch the wires together, designating that the long side is my positive. I'm going to hook, it doesn't matter, we're just testing, it doesn't really matter which side you hook up. First, we're going to take one of our red wires that we soldered earlier. We're going to hook it to our red lead. That red lead is going to be our positive. Red is positive, white is negative on this. So our red lead is going to go to the positive or the longer electrode on one LED. From the other side of this, we are going to hook our black or the negative up to our corresponding white wire here and here. Now, we do this for one side and we also repeat this for the other. Now, question's going to come up, well, which wires what? What if I get my white wires mixed up? If I was to look on this board, I would assume that the white wires all go back to the same place. So I'm going to swap these clips around right here. Notice that whenever one is not charging and discharging, the light stays on. because part of the circuit is it has to complete the discharge. This side is charged up. If I was to hook up this side again, it would begin to blink. So this should work. I didn't check the circuit, but ground is ground. So we're going to swap the black leads. And the circuit should continue to work. So white wires do not matter on which LED they go onto. Just make sure that the white wires and the red wires are not touching. I can even swap the red wires if I'd like to. What you need to do is be very careful of this circuit and make sure that in all of this, right through here, all of my cabling, that I don't have any wires. I do not have a red jumper touching a black jumper, because that'll be a short. So that's why, if that ever happens, if you see a spark, immediately turn this off so we don't blow the control board. And so here we go. And so that's testing our control circuit, and we are ready to assemble.